You wouldn't like me when I'm hangry. Seriously though, shaky, short-tempered, low stress tolerance, irritable. Hey, I'm Sarah Curry of Blaze Yoga and Pilates, and this month we're focusing on all aspects of recovery in the world of hot yoga and fitness. In this video, I'll get into the basics of fueling your body for optimal recovery. If you have questions for me, post them in the comments below and I'll get back to you with even more information. Hands down, the lowest hanging fruit in recovering from whatever you do for movement is fuel. Everyone knows what hangry feels like, and it's not good. But it's not just about feeling bad, it's about blood sugar dysregulation. It's wildly damaging to your body on the inside. We're talking hormone disruptions, stress intolerance, gut dysbiosis, mood impacts, and more. In our diet-centered culture, there's so much focus on minimizing food intake for weight loss that most of us don't even know what it means to eat to match and recover from our output. When you work out, including the practice of yoga, you're put stress on your body, and there's a natural cellular breakdown, a buildup of metabolic waste products, and increased demand for nutrition to right the ship once again. This process begins to bring you back better and better after each class, and the process only works if there's fuel and materials in the supply chain to support your recovery. Now, in my world, I work with clients who are primarily over-exercised and under-fueled. If you're practicing here or at one of our sister studios, it's time to face facts. You are an athlete, and your body deserves to be treated like one. Whether you're looking to make muscle gains, drop weight, fight anxiety and depression, or you just don't want to feel lethargic and exhausted all the time, the first step is blood sugar regulation. I did a great interview with our partner, functional nutritionist Aaron Holt, on fueling for high-intensity interval training and what underfueling looks like and feels like. You can find that link on our YouTube channel in the links page of our IG bio. In over a decade in the field, she's noticed that when she works with women with weight loss resistance, the common denominator is not overeating. It's under-eating. Your body is smart and it is not going to let you die in the Great Famine. So if you're regularly eating too little, your body will cut energy waste left, right, and center. You need to fuel your body fully, multiple times every day to feel even-keeled, emotionally stable, strong, resilient, and at the top of your neurological function. Blood sugar also has a massive impact on the production of sympathetic hormones like cortisol and whether or not we produce enough on the parasympathetic side like fertility hormones, growth hormones, and all of our feel-good biochemicals. If you don't have enough albumin in your bloodstream, you literally cannot heal wounds. How we fuel has a direct impact on how we sleep, function, connect, reproduce, heal, and feel. It is a big deal. That's exactly in opposition to the messages most of us have gotten most of our lives. The message that the less you eat and the more you can restrict, the better of a person you are and the more deserving you are of love, success, and having the good life. It's a giant scam and it's lucrative. Americans drop over $70 billion each year on diet products and weight loss coaches as a nation, each one telling you to eat less, restrict more, avoid carbs, only eat like a caveman, fast most of the day, eat this special antioxidant berry, join my MLA, you name it. Very rarely you'll come across one gem who is trying to teach you how to eat like nature actually intended, to fuel your body so you can survive this thing called life. So I have a challenge for you this week. We could talk forever about the timing of protein powders and branched-chain amino acids, both of which I personally use, but the first and most important step is regulating your blood sugar. You can't dial in nutrition until you have the basics on lock. Until you can eat regularly and enough, everything else is like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. You're doing something, but it is not even close to enough, and it certainly doesn't address the actual problem. Aaron blew my mind with this simple test many years ago. Try it. Eat your breakfast tomorrow morning as usual. Whatever you'd normally eat, pay attention. If you can't make it to lunchtime without a snack or getting hangry, you didn't eat enough food at breakfast. Period. You're underfueling your body. It's so basic, yet it has the potential to completely transform your life. Do you remember in the early aughts when Jen Aniston made it popular, the 6 snacks a day diet, where a celebrity chef makes you 5 or 6 meals under $300 to stave off starvation, but you can still stay skinny? This set a standard to a new low for people everywhere. Let's see if we can bust that rhetoric and actually start eating again. I'm not saying snacks are bad, so don't at me about snacks. If you are hungry, eat a snack. Hungry means eat. I'm saying snacks aren't a replacement for eating actual meals like a big boy, and very few of us have the cash to have someone follow us around with handmade, organic, pasture-aged snacks all day. And it turns out your digestive system actually needs the break of you not grazing all day to sweep and clear the tract. Okay, back to the challenge. Try the experiment again at lunch. Can you make it to dinner without getting hungry? No? Again, you didn't have enough macronutrients to fuel your body. After dinner, do you notice a huge craving for sweets before bed, or do you wake up in the middle of the night starving? Possibly not enough fuel. That's your action for the week 1 of Recovery Month, to build a plate that gets you from one meal to the next without a breakdown. You might do it every day, or you might only find success once. Start there. Feel what it feels like to function in a body that's had enough food. There's one caveat here. If you're an early morning exerciser, you might not be able to tank down a full meal and then do your burpees for an hour. In this case, a small snack to kickstart your body before class and get your blood sugar up will generally need to be followed by a real breakfast after class. Measure that action from the second meal, not the break of dawn snack. Let me give you an example. On Fridays, I get up and have a small bowl of granola with fruit and goat milk or a protein-packed smoothie around 5:30 a.m. It's more of a Jen Aniston meal than an actual breakfast, but I take Jalen's 7 a.m. Inferno class, swallow some BCAAs, clean up, send some emails, and then we head home for a real breakfast and coffee around 8:30. Maybe roast potatoes and veggies with fried eggs, or I do Aaron Steele cut oats with eggs stirred in. You have to try it. It's really good. Nuts, seeds, and berries on top. That morning stack was literally to break my fast before the workout because without food, I would absolutely get dizzy in class. If it comes to getting dizzy in class, you are far past blood sugar regulation, and it can take hours and hours to get your blood sugar back on track. Our goal this week is to consider switching from the earn your food mindset, we've all heard that before, to an earn your exercise mindset. In this mindset, if you don't eat enough food to fuel a practice, you haven't earned your exercise, and you don't get to do it. We all love to move and take class and be active and see our community and have fun. So if you want mommy to let you go out and play with your friends, you have to take care of your responsibilities first. And your number one responsibility is your health. What matters more than how you feel? By taking this first step of learning to fuel your body and regulate blood sugar, you can stop the yo-yo effects of less than ideal eating habits and finally snatch back the energy and focus you need to live your best life, all the while rebuilding and recovering your body so you can thrive. Listen, real athletes fuel their bodies. That's why they do what they do. Later in the week, I'm going to post one of my favorite post-workout meals. It is packed with nutrition on both macro and micro levels, has piles of vegetables, and even better, it's freaking delicious. Even your pickiest kid is going to love it. This one is a staple in our house. But what should you actually eat after working out? Okay, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing zone 1 or zone 2 an exercise like walking or yoga, where you can breathe through your nose for most of the time, you're probably fine eating on whatever schedule you regularly do. Leave a few hours after a meal before class, and just be sure to hydrate well before, during, and after practice. Now, if you're regularly hitting zone 3 or higher, or lifting heavy and trying to increase your strength and make muscle gains, you may want to consider fine-tuning your nutrition a little more. Don't ever go into a workout hungry, number 1. Plan your food, get a balance of carbs, proteins, and fats with enough time to digest before class. Everyone's bodies are different, so you are going to have to experiment N=1 with what makes you feel good. Depending on who you are and what you're eating, that's generally at least 2 to 3 hours. If you're eating closer to class, just lay off heavy doses of fats and fibers because they're harder to break down. So don't have a fried beet and butter sandwich on whole wheat bread at 11 before the nooner. After a heavy workout, you'll have a good amount of muscle breakdown, and your body is getting ready to heal. Part of that process is a nearly immediate flood of self-made antioxidants. In fact, the more you work out, the better your body gets at producing copious amounts of these magical little compounds. This is a time you don't want to eat your antioxidants or it'll dull the internal effect. So if you're eating cups of blueberries in your post-workout smoothie, your body will actually produce fewer antioxidants because it doesn't like waste and you're already getting them from the outside. So save the PB&J smoothie for breakfast. Have you had that one? It's blueberry, raspberry, blackberries, and then your soaked nuts and all your add-ins. It's really good. Try instead something like the tropical treat. So that's banana, spinach, mango with all your add-ins instead of the antioxidant-rich berries. Second, since your body's repairing muscle tissue, it needs amino acids to do its job, and it will get them where it gets them. That's part of the reason why individuals who suffer from anorexia for a long time also often have heart problems, because your body doesn't care where it gets protein from. If it's not available through digestion, your body will catabolize itself, and it doesn't care if it's a biceps or a heart. If it's a muscle, it's fair game. Getting protein into your body within 30 minutes of exercise can go a long way to preventing catabolization of existing muscles or sarcopenia and help move forward the recovery process quickly and efficiently. This is especially important for women. Our bodies experience more sarcopenia than men's and have a much more difficult time building and retaining muscle, especially after the age of 35. Most of the literature on post-workout nutrition was done in experiments on college-aged men and doesn't take into consideration the female reproductive or hormonal cycles. So prepare to get protein after lifting, period. If you want a really in-depth assessment of fueling the body for those with female sex hormones, I strongly recommend reading Dr. Stacey Sims' groundbreaking book, Roar. If you're interested for those with male sex hormones, read almost every other book or piece of literature and research out there. Some folks bring hard-boiled eggs or prepped food to snack in the car after class. The easiest go-to is probably a protein bar or a drink, but remember, look for garbage in there. You don't need any caffeine or rice syrup, and a lot of the stuff on the market is full of that crap to hook you as a buyer. If you're a fan of collagen powder, it's important to remember here that collagen isn't a readily available protein. It takes a little longer to break down, which is great for satiation and blood sugar regulation long term, but that's not best used for a post-workout recovery source. Grass-fed whey protein is actually probably the most easily available source. If you're vegan, there are some other great options out there. Jalen has a dairy sensitivity, so he uses Aura Organics. What I like about that product is that it shakes up really easily without chunks. So when we don't have time to make a smoothie in the morning, we just pop some dried powder in the mason jar, add water, and shake after class. Personally, I use grass-fed whey, usually glutamine, probiotics, and some maca after my 2 to 3 hard workouts each week, and then bring a piece of handheld fruit or some kind of cut veg to chomp in the car. That's what works for me. In a nutshell, though, if you want your body to recover from intense exercise, you've got to eat. If you can get your blood sugar to stay relatively regular, you're going to feel better, and all of your body's intrinsic systems can do their job to the best of their ability. This goes all the way down to mitochondrial energy production inside of your cells. It starts with food and stable glucose levels. We all want some miracle cure, a pill we could buy on auto ship, but the real answer starts in the kitchen and ends with taking care of ourselves all day, every day, until the end of time. Questions? Post them down below and be sure to come back here and update us on how your Build a Plate exercise has been going.